What's up, y'all? It is Mary.
And
And today we will be talking about...
I think the story comes out of Ohio. And it's a nurse practitioner. Her name is Adama Diallo. And she runs a clinic there. That's her own practice. And, you know, what we see is the quarrel that started.
Right.
But we don't see how it started, what happened. But so and we don't see the patient who she's arguing with. But obviously it's a patient that came, or a client that she had, probably wanted her to do something for maybe a prescription, maybe a referral, something. And the client was like quarreling with a member of her staff. And so she comes out from the back. Instead of her being the business owner, right? Her being the nurse practitioner, instead of her calming the situation down, when you have a client, what do you do when you have a client that is belligerent, that is insulting you, right? What do you do? Even though this is your business, I would not have handled it the way she did. I think the way she did was wrong.
Yeah.
So she starts insulting him. I heard him call her prostitute. And he was there with a woman, because there was a woman in the background, but I was just hearing his insult. The woman was just saying, okay. Anytime the Adama Diallo insulted them, she will say, okay, all right, okay. But I didn't hear her returning any insult. It was pretty much Adama and the guy. And, you know, he was trolling her shoes, called her prostitute. She called him slave. She called him the N-word. She called him...
Was she Caucasian or a black woman?
Adama Diallo. Well, that's a West African name. Adama is a West African
Why did you say it like that? Adama Diallo? Like, are you serious? Like, obviously it's African.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you just know the names, like, you know, where the person is
Well,
from.
I wasn't
Adama
born there,
is
so, you know,
it's a West African name.
I thought you said,
really a serial
I thought
name,
you said
Adama.
Adam, so I was like...
Adama. So anyhow, so she calls him slave, she calls him the N-word, and she's like, yeah, you're getting money. I guess she was trying to say money from the government, and I guess she's telling him he gets welfare, and you're using people's taxes, they're paying for you, you're a dog,
She said
you're a bee. Like,
she was like, well, if you want to go low, I'm gonna go to hell. See you there.
I mean, this is it's the same thing when we had the whole Erica Mena thing, when she was going back and forth with Spice.
Right.
And she started calling Spice monkey. There are just certain things that you just don't say in an argument. Anything to do with people's race, their
sexuality.
Sexuality. Like, I just have an issue with that.
Yeah, or attacking them personally. Like, if they told you something and you go and you use that against them.
I just think it's very disgusting.
Yeah.
You know, you cool, and then the thing is, she started saying not just him, she was like kind of saying like you people, like that's why you're kind, like, you know. Who are you insulting then? You're kind, what kind? Well, obviously you're not saying Africans, right? Because you're African, so you obviously are talking about African Americans, right? And the fact that you said slave, the N-word, like and then all of this, you know, it was just a mess. This is your place of business. You're a nurse practitioner. I don't know what happened to the customer is always right. I mean, are we not doing that anymore? I mean, it's been a long time since I was a waitress. But even when I worked...
No, I don't think people are doing that. I think people are... I think, you know, this is kind
Now
of
it's like people
I
are
mean,
just insulting. And like,
well, it's because
someone comes and they have a problem, you try to calm the situation down, whether you own the business or not. You know, you could have just said, you know, I'm sorry you feel this way. I really wish I could help you, but maybe the way insurances are, I'm unable to do that. Like, or maybe the contracts that I have, you know, and then if the person continues to insult you, well, you know, you probably gotta leave my building now because you're kind of like scaring me and scaring whatever.
You know
and,
what it
and that's
is?
what you do. But to go and start insulting, and then a little girl was there in the back. I don't know if that's her daughter, but a little girl was there in the back and she came out. It's such an awful example to set. And just those insults, like you're an African, right? You're an African who lives in America. Without the sacrifices that the African Americans made, like during the Jim Crow, during those 1960s, during all the fighting that they have fought and all the marches that they have marched and all the dogs that have been sicked on them and then having to deal with, you know, being lynched and all of that. If they hadn't gone through all of that, your behind will not be able to even be here to enjoy the fruits of their labor. That's why you're even there able to now run a clinic on your own, and your Adama Diallo name is able to come here because these people who you're talking about their taxes, like you just painted them with a whole brush. And I just found that so disgusting. If they hadn't made those sacrifices, you will not be able to be here. So right now you standing on their backs and their necks of those African Americans that you have the nerve to want to spit on. I just have an issue with that.
You said a word, Alma. You said a word.
I just have a problem with that. And the other thing that it shows to me, it shows that when she is with herself and her
people,
African friends, you know what I'm saying, or
That's
her
how they
family,
talk.
this is what she says in the back room. And that's why it was so easy
to say it.
for her to come out and say all this nonsense. You know what I'm saying? So I was just, for any African out there that's delusional, feeling like you can come to America and look down your noses at people who look like yourself. When they go to Africa, you can't, until they open their mouth, you can't even tell the difference whether this person is from Tanzania or America. You can't tell the difference. You know, but before you come here to America, their country, like America belongs to them. Like it belongs to them just as it belongs to all the other Americans that are here. They have just as much rights. You know what I'm saying? They were brought here against their will, and in spite of all of that, made something of themselves.
They overcame
and
adversity.
Fought this battle. Like, do you understand the strength that they come from? Do you understand like what they have had to go through for them to still be standing? All of these are survivors. All of these are like the best of us. And how dare you? Like, really, how dare you? You know, you're one of those people who need like serious training. She has lost 2 contracts.
Good.
For her business. And then that's the other thing. That's the other thing. You were there talking about how he's on welfare or whatever. But I bet though, whatever welfare you think he's on, I bet that insurance though, you're getting that money from it, aren't you? Isn't that what he used to pay you?
Hello.
You know what I'm saying? Then why are you still taking that though? Why are you taking those insurance? You're getting paid though. Like, it's so disgusting. It's so disgusting. But she lost 2 contracts, and it just doesn't show high intelligence, really. You're a whole nurse practitioner. Worked hard for this, and in the blink of an eye, But you see, this is what happens
So God come
when
behind
you do not work on yourself, when you don't work on self-development, when you don't learn to self-control.
Yeah.
You don't know how to control your mouth. You don't know how to, like, at your big age, I mean, we can look at you and tell that, I mean, you are a mature woman. You should be able to calm a situation. You're the owner of the place. You should be able to set that example. On top of that, there was a young child, a young black child there. And then she's talking like this. How do you want other people? I bet most of her clientele are African American.
Oh, for sure.
It's like that lady, Dr. Jackie, who was there talking about how black women are
Faking their pain.
faking their
But
pain.
she's
They're
never
pregnant
had
women.
a child.
But then most of your clientele are black women. So how do you want them to now come to your office when they know that this is what you think of them?
And she's never even had a child. How can you say such an ignorant statement? You haven't even birthed a child. You're talking about how women fake their pain. Like idiots. Some
So
people just
now this is what has happened to this Miss Diallo, Mrs. Diallo, Adama
Rightfully
Diallo. She's lost her contract. They said if you go onto her license page, she has put herself inactive. So I don't know if she's just decided I'm done with the nursing. I quit. But it's so unfortunate. Yes, it was on TikTok.
Who recorded her? The guy?
Well, maybe the woman who kept on saying okay. Because as she was saying, you slay and all this stuff, the woman was saying, oh, okay, okay, all right. It was ugly. It was ugly. Like if she had just, they both had just cursed each other out. You know what I'm saying? Get your MFR out of here, blah, blah, blah. That would be, but she went to another level.
Yeah.
That is not okay.
Yeah.
There are lines that you don't cross. There are lines that you don't cross at all. You know?
Yeah.
And now you've burned these bridges, really burnt these bridges. Can you maybe get back? You probably have to look at the playbook of Dr. Jackie. You have to apologize, but I want to see sensitivity training, whatever they call it, where you go and you are so anti-African American. That's what she needs to go. She needs to go for that training. Yeah. I don't know what they call it. If you guys know the name, please put it down here. So if she sees this video, she can go for this training. And at the end of the day, there's just certain people who really should not be in healthcare. When you have such a temper and you lack self-control, I really wonder about the care that she's been giving African Americans all this time. I worry about the things like that. I just do. Is it okay to give someone like that a second chance, even if they do apologize, even if they do go for, you know, I don't know, a sensitivity training? I mean, when it comes to certain things like healthcare, teachers, I just don't give second chances and stuff like that. Because I wonder what damage you've done to the people that you've been taking care of all this time. Anyhow, that's all I have to say. You guys get down in the comments and what do you think of this? And do you think that, you know, do you think she was in the wrong? Do you think he was in the wrong? Do you think she crossed the line? Get down in the comments and let us know. Thank you.